everyone. Welcome back to Andromeda 6. I think last time we met everyone. we have amnesia or something, and we're on a ship or something, and we met everyone. And now we get to pick who we want to hang out with. And I don't super remember who everyone is, which is an issue. Oh my gosh, why do I do this to myself? Bash is that little cutie pie. Right? Bash is cutie pie. Okay, yeah, so we're choosing who's walking in right now. Really? That's an interesting choice. Isayame is the doctor. Yeah, let's just scroll. Refresher. Ayame is the pilot. She's not the doctor. Cauldron is the pilot or co-pilot. I can't remember. He's just that guy that was rude. I think Damon is that emo guy. Yeah. Damon's that emo guy. That's at least half of them. Bash is the guy with the arm. June. Riona is the doctor. Who's June? Which one is June again? I don't remember. Who do I want to pick? I liked Bash, TBH. Hey, is everything fixed? Yeah! Everyone, rejoice. Bash is here. He grins slow and lazy, and something about it makes my stomach float. The ship won't be blowing up anytime soon, if that's what you're asking. Oh, whoa, my throat went crazy. Hello? My eyes widen in alarm, though he merely chuckles, strolling through the door and into the room like he owns the place. When he lies down on the bed, leaning back against the pillows, I raise an eyebrow at him. Please, make yourself at home. Kid, when you've had a life like mine, you have to take everything like it belongs to you. You are on a ship right now. Don't you have your own room? Like tea, I get that, but also like, I feel like you're in a place right now. He's kidding. I need to stop taking everything so seriously. Also, I don't remember if he has a voice or what voice I gave him, so we're just flying by the seat of our pants. It's the only way to truly survive in this shithole of a world. Is that so? Yeah, that's so. Now I'm curious, what kind of life have you had that led you here? I have amnesia. Did we not establish that? I don't remember. Yeah, you know I don't remember. Take a wild guess. Were you a robotic systems retrainer? A Nalexian tiger wrangler? Damn, we're crazy. A high-profile bookie from Nos Vega Abacus? I don't know what that means. No, and no. I don't even know what that last one is. The outrage! The first thing we're gonna do when we get to Tyrannium is head to the dome. Okay. There's nothing in this world that compares to the screams of an unruly crowd as they watch a couple of mecha pull each other to bits piece by piece. Imagine this. The smell of dirty oil spurting in all directions, the crackle of electric sparks from broken cables, the sound of metal shrieking as it's torn apart. I'm not really loving that, but okay. His arms crossed behind his head, a satisfied smile plastered on his face. Ah, that's the stuff. I stand there for a moment, dumbstruck. Arena matches. I'm possibly facing the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life, and here he is, lamenting about the goddamn arena matches. As if reading my thoughts, Bash turns to me. Ah, come on. You won't be pouting at me like that when you see what I found. He sits up and digs into the pocket of his trousers, pulling a small spherical object. He lowers his hand as if he means to throw it to me, but then thinks better of it, standing to stroll over and place it in my hand. Where am I standing? At the door? Oh, I guess I'm standing at the door. What is it? Thought you might know. I have amnesia. How am I supposed to know anything? I shake my head as I reach for the object, feeling the cool touch of metal against my fingertips. What is it? You had it on when we brought you in. I've been looking at it. Captain was paranoid, you know. Thought it was one of those newfangled spy thingies. His words, I swear. As if any organization would use catalphinite for its gear. He snorts, though at the look of my confusion on his face, he puts his hand in front of him. Seriously? You don't know what catalphinite is either? What kind of rock have you been living under? The amnesic one. What about I have amnesia? Do you not understand? Like, Period, girl. Love you, Pookie. But I have amnesia. I can't remember anything. Look, kid. That metal, catalphanite, it's as rare as it gets. Whoever you were, whoever you are, you weren't just some nobody living on the streets. Dude, am I like a noble or something? Unless, of course, you stole that thing, in which case, you're both a nobody and a genius. I look over Bash, puzzled. He has this sort of tone that leaves me unsure if he's mocking me. I examine the object in my hand, running my fingers across the intricate filigree and the blue jewels set in the metal. It's small enough to hold in the palm of my hand, and it feels as though it has some weight to it. But there's something else, something special. Oh, so I do kind of remember it. There's something inside, but no matter what I tried, I couldn't pry it open. That, and I thought it's best to not accidentally destroy the thing, you know? I'm only partly listening to Bash now, mesmerized instead by that small sphere in my hand. There's a kind of power about it, some low, thrumming energy that runs over my skin, desperate for release. Everything about it feels familiar. It feels like a secret. As if guided by some distant memory, I close my palm over the sphere, squeezing once before releasing it slowly. The first few notes of a tune tinkle from the sphere as it opens, and my eyes snap to Bash, his face just as dumbfounded as my own. It's a music box. Hell yeah! Oh, that's Cutie Pie! Okay. Inside of the sphere is an intricate maze of moving cogs and soft blue lights. My eyes are mesmerized by the movement as it plays a slow, sad lullaby. The tinkling notes of the song echo through the room, each as hauntingly familiar as the last. It's almost cruel how it caresses the edges of my memories, taunting me to remember faces and names that are no longer there. My heart fills with hopelessness, my teeth clench tight in frustration, and it's only when I feel a tear slip over my lips that I realize I'm crying. But why am I crying? The music box hasn't triggered any memories for me, only a feeling, a sadness, and a longing so strong it makes my heart ache. The melody ends, and for a long time after, neither of us say a word. Eventually, Bash breaks at the silence, his voice barely more than a whisper. Honestly, that's not what I was expecting. I blink a couple of times to clear the tears from my eyes and focus instead on the man in front of me. Remember anything? He holds my gaze, and it's the first time I've seen anything but humor in his eyes. I swallow around the lump in my throat, and though it pains me, I'm forced to shake my head. I felt something. There was something there, not a memory, but a feeling. I don't think the music box was mine, but whoever owned it, they were special to me. The words stick in my throat, and I hesitate, which I could remember. I wish that I could remember more than that, but there's nothing else. Nothing at all. Bash must see the sadness because he places a warm hand over mine and gently closes the music box with a soft click. It pulses in my hand, its sad, sweet melody still echoing through me. That's good, Kay. That's better than nothing at all, but maybe you shouldn't remember. Excuse me? Shit, that came out wrong. What I mean is, maybe it would really be best to start over. I know I was joking around about it earlier, but what if your past isn't what you were expecting? What if it's really bad? I mean, I feel like I'd rather remember it being bad than not remember at all. I don't know, Bash. I think, good or bad, I want to know. There must be something worth remembering. Yeah. If there is a music box and there's someone to care about, and that's worth something. I hope so, kid. I really hope things work out for you. Why are you calling me kid all the time, by the way? Probably the same age or older than you, nerd. He winks at me and smiles, shoving his hands in his pockets as he shuffles through the door. I'd better leave you, but remember, I'm taking you to the dome on the terrarium, whether you like it or not. Good luck getting me past the captain. He's ready to drop me off as soon as we land. Don't worry about that. Our good commander. Oh, don't worry about our good commander. A blowtorch to his precious golden locks. We'll have him singing sweeter tunes in no time. I give him a look of mock horror, which earns a hearty laugh from him in reply. Sweet dreams, Kay. I'll see you in the morning. Sorry, I'm dying. Bash leaves me with a small smile, and with a heavy sigh, I drop down on my bed and hold the music box above me. The metal glint in the fluorescent light, and I vaguely recall hearing of catalphenite before. It was found on the planet before it was destroyed, mined from deep below the watery surface in the ocean caves. That would explain its pearlescent shine. It really is a beautiful object. Why do you feel so familiar? I speak out loud, with no one around to hear me, and then I squint as something catches my eye within the intricate detailing. Yeah, NLP? There's an engraving on it. NLP. What does that mean? Feeling the gentle lull of sleep begin to weigh on me, I decide the question can wait. Opening the music box once more, I set it beside me on the bed, watching the dance of the lights and gears as the tinkling melody soothes me. My eyes grow heavy, so heavy, and I'm pulled under by the weight of my exhaustion. Wavering on the brink of dreams and reality, I hear it. A sweet, strong voice, familiar, so familiar. Be strong, Kay. Be safe. You're a fighter, a survivor. The day where I have to leave you will come sooner than we both know. Promise me you won't give up. Who are you? Why can't I remember you? Why does it feel like I miss you when I don't remember? I'm sorry, little one. I miss you too. So it's probably like my dad or some shit. End of episode 1! Golly! Oh, okay. I was like, damn. I was like, golly. If I, like, didn't... Oh, well, that's embarrassing. Anyways. The buzzing of the ship wakes me, giving way seconds later to the crackle of the intercom booming through my room. Okay, so that means I'll try to stop chapter 3 instead of where I stopped. What voice did I give her? Oh my god. I should have watched my video before I did this. Wait, what happened? Oh, intercom. Got it. Rise and shine, people. Terrarium is in our sights, and that was not the voice, was it? Let's just give her a voice and then cry about it later. Rise and shine, people. Terrarium is in our sights, and we're set to land in approximately 1 hour. Time to get your asses to your stations. Stretching my arms above my head, I let out a yawn, lazily blinking the sleep from my eyes. It had taken some time to get used to, sleeping on a moving craft, and I could do with another hour or two of rest. Though, rather than risk the captain's wrath, and probably Aya's too, I pushed myself out of bed, shivering as the cold metal floor touches my bare feet, and head to the adjoining bathroom to wash up. After my initial run-in with the crew, and the rather unfriendly welcome from the captain, I'd avoided leaving my room as much as possible the past few days, content to let Riona bring me meals and just generally fuss over my well-being. The headaches I've been having since the accident hadn't quite eased off, and the potions and balms the medics have brought me are the only thing helping me to get any sleep. Huh, interesting. Something that would cause, generally, like, what, head trauma would cause headaches? Like, if you hit your head pretty hard, probably. After receiving my music box that first night, I had the strangest dream. A faceless entity I had no memory of visited me in my sleep, and her voice was soft but strong, and it gave me a new kind of hope. Oh, so maybe it was like my mom? It was some sort of mentor figure, because if someone is gonna say little one, that's generally like mentor, caretaker, caregiver, someone that's older than you. Also. Since then, nothing else had surfaced. No memories, no voices, and I'd kept the contents of that dream to myself. I have no idea who this woman is, lingering on the edges of my memories. Family, friend, or something else altogether. All I know is that the sound of her voice made me feel something familiar, something safe and hopeful. I'd like to keep that feeling to myself for a little while longer. The crew had been so welcoming for the most part, but I'm still not sure exactly who I should trust, or if I should trust any of them at all. Guys, I'm letting you know now, my toxic trait is that I accidentally trust everybody and then get fucked over later for it. So, You're probably gonna look at someone and go, like, I don't trust Damon farther than I can throw him because he's sus. I trust Bash because he just seems like head empty. Like Natsu or like Itadori. He has like that energy to me. So I'm like, okay, I can trust him because he's just thinking about being a good little guy. The doctor, she could be sus. I don't have a lot of vibes about that. I don't know. I'm very trusting in people for the most part, except Damon. And that's just because those nerds are stinkies. I don't know. Yeah, okay, great. I finished washing up in the bathroom, and after deciding I can't put it off any longer, I head to the bridge. Technically we don't really need to be there because we're not crew. Technically, we're just like a guest on the ship. The captain had told me to stay out of his way, and I tried my best to, but I didn't exactly love the idea of being stuck in my room while we landed the ship. After having hit my head once already this week, I don't really need a repeat. Yeah, so we did hit our head. That's probably where the headaches are coming from. Possibly some other medication-caused thing, but certainly that's probably what's calling it. Oh, okay. Sorry, my cat's doing things. Turning one of my... Hey. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Okay, we're just gonna try it. My cat is not sitting down, so it's been like 10 minutes just being a mess. Turning one of the many corridors, silently praying I haven't lost my way again, I almost bump into a figure coming out of one of the adjacent rooms while lost in thought. A surprised sound escapes me, and a moment later I realize that my hands are pressed against a solid wall of muscle, preventing myself from colliding with the figure entirely. June? Oh my god. Oh, you're June! That's why I couldn't remember you. I just met you. You were the first one I met, so I erased you from my mind, because I also didn't care. Bonnabelle! Oh my god. Girl, I need you to lay down. Yeah. See, look. Oh my god, we're so comfortable now. Look. I need you to lay down. Your tail is swatting at my face. Bruh! She ran away. What an ass. I would literally texted my mom and I was like, I need a remedy to this situation. And I was like, we have a bunch of, in our house, we have a bunch of, oh, actually, yeah, let me move it and see what she does. Hold on. Okay, I think I figured it out. I got one of our raised cat beds. Hopefully she'll sit in that. She's exploring right now. I will leave her alone. Okay, so June chuckles and takes a step back, and I drop my hands awkwardly. Good morning, Kay. Sleep well? He waits for me to regain my composure before he continues, heading towards the bridge, matching his steps with mine. What did he ask me? I already forgot. Sleep well. How did we say we slept? Well, I guess we slept okay. Yeah, fine. It's the first night I've managed to get more than a few hours of sleep. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, she didn't even sit in the chair. What a rat. June grins, his eyes crinkling at the corners. I'm glad to hear it. The beds here aren't the most comfortable, I'm afraid. I thought you might have a hard time adjusting. Jesus. I give him a strange look. It was an odd choice of words. Adjusting? I just assumed after finding you on the Gold District on Goldus that you'd be used to something more posh. Is that the way he said it? This is me all the time playing Ace Attorney, which we might play because I just love Ace Attorney. The beds here aren't the most comfortable, I'm afraid. I thought you might have a hard time adjusting. Hey! Oh wait, that's a scratching post. Continue! I apologize. Luxury is kind of the thing in that district. You won't find anything as drab as this place in there, that's for sure. Oh. I don't say anything more. Though June's statement only serves to bring up even more questions. We walk in silence for a while, and although it's comfortable enough, I still find myself searching for something to say. So, are you used to being woken up by Ame shouting through every speaker in the morning? It certainly has happened more often than it probably should, but I was already up. I don't sleep that much. Insomnia? He slows, almost stopping completely as he gives me a thoughtful look. Something like that. Suspicious. What do you mean? His eyebrows dip and I want to ask more, but something about his tone makes it clear that I shouldn't pry any further. So, just how much do you know about Turanium? Not enough to even pronounce it right every time I say it. Not much, though I get the feeling it's not the most welcoming of planets. It has its ups and downs. I'll tell you a little about it if you'd like. I nod. The prospect of learning more about this place we'll be visiting. Too good to give up. What? Yeah. No, I read that right. Okay, cool. Turanium is a desert planet. The water there comes from various oases scattered across the surface. And the oases are largely controlled by the gangs and clans there. Oh, that's not cool. The planet's government, the Council of Embers, is negligent, corrupt, I fear. I fear that will only become worse now that the Zovac... Oh, right, that's that guy. That's that guy. That Zovac sits on the throne of Goldus. Dude, am I like the leader of that place? Wouldn't that be cray? If I was like the leader and no one was telling me, oh my god, I'm actually a deity or whatever. Okay, let's calm down. There's something dark in June's voice when he says this. Some deep-seated resentment poking its head through the calm composure. Okay, everyone hates that guy, got it. I now notice the rifle that's strapped to his back. And I wonder, with a small twinge of panic, how bad that place really is. Yeah, so I mean, he's probably just like the gunsman, because he has a rifle on his back, he has a pistol right here, and then another one right there. So he just has guns. He's probably just the guy with the guns. Everyone has something. Bash is the engineer. Ayame is the pilot. I think the other guy's also probably like a pilot, or like a strategist or something, like a navigator. Riona's the doctor. Riona. And then I don't remember anyone else. I don't know what Damon does. I think Damon's just that emo guy that lives on the boat, on the ship. Geranium has long been known for drugs, robotics, and arenas. That's how they make their money. We're headed to Nos Vega, the capital. It's not as savage as the smaller cities, but still. Things can get wild, so be on your guard. Savage is an interesting word to use. I don't necessarily think I would use that one, but okay. We have a friend who owns property in the busier sector of the city. It's a great place for gathering intel and laying low. So that's what we're doing there? Gathering intel and laying low? Among other things. I'm sure you're aware of the damage to the cargo hold. We'll find parts we'll need to patch it up and then scope out the general overview of the situation in Seltoa after the coup. Then we'll make a decision on what to do next. I had mentioned that the crew was in some kind of mess? What did she mean by that? June makes a strange face, as if considering exactly how much he wants me to know. It wouldn't be fair to drag you into that, unless you know, the less you know, the better. Got it. Wow, a very orange quote. We enter the bridge to a buzz of activity. It's clearly all hands on deck up here. Cauldron and I are seated in the cockpit, the pilot flicking switches and pulling levers, while the captain... What's the difference between a pilot? Oh, the pilot's the flyer, and the captain is, like, the leader of the... Got it. She's the pilot. He's the captain. I got it in here. Barks at someone through the comms as he holds his hand. He holds in his hand. An awkward laugh crackles through the receiver from the other side. I recognize the voice instantly. I gotta tell ya, there's a lot of noise down here, Cap. We'll make it through the atmosphere in one piece, but I don't expect the outer cargo walls to hold up during landing. Just make sure the airlocks 3 and 4 are sealed. The hold is already shredded. Nothing we can do about it now. Aye, aye, Captain. Riona greets us with a smile from where she's buckled herself in one of the extra chairs when I feel a hand on my arm and I turn back to June. One more thing before we land. Just Make sure you stay with one of us at all times, okay? Wouldn't want to lose you so soon after bringing you on board. Suspicious. Hi, Damon. Hi, girl. What are you doing here? Kiss? What? Guys, be respectful. I'm joking. I think he's fine, but I'd never. Oh my god. Anyways. Feeling the newbie and all of the lewd and lawless activities that go down in Nose Vega, are you, June? Lewd? You're inappropriate. Damon's voice floats over to us from where he stands nearby, sheathing a pair of daggers into place. Yeah, you would have daggers into place on his thighs. On his thighs, Damon. Sorry. Let me lock in. June folds his arms over his chest, giving Damon a hard look. I'd rather not worry Kay with the details so soon before landing. There's nothing to worry about so long as we keep our heads down. Damon grins, his eyes trailing over June lazily, and a blade balanced between his fingers. Are you guys gonna kiss? Wait, wasn't there people who I was like, oh, they totally kiss? Maybe that was the other one. That was the other game. I don't think that was this one. They're gonna kiss. What? Where's the fun in that? June rolls his eyes, unstrapping the rifle from his back and fixing it to the back of one of the chairs before he sits to strap himself in. I watch the thick green substance sloshing around the chamber, just beneath the barrel of his rifle, wondering what it is. My guess is acid, but that's probably wrong. Don't listen to Damon, Kay. Last time we were all here, all he did was skulk around in the shadows and drink that disgusting shrimp juice they sell at the Ark. It's not shrimp, it's krill. With a blueberry and lemon juice. Don't knock it till you try it, cowboy. Oh, they're flirting. Oh, they're flirting in front of me. June makes a disgusted face, and I have to agree that the combination doesn't sound appealing at all. I'll pass. It's Damon's turn to roll his eyes, and as June settles into his seat, ending the conversation, he turns to me. He looks even more menacing than when the first time we met, though that may be because he's still smiling at me in a way that leaves me unsure if he wants to stab me or seduce me. Princess, either one. I'm playing. My eyes flicker over the bandolier across his chest. The what? This thing? What are we talking about? What's across his chest? I don't understand. The knive's partly concealed by his coat. Oh! He's wearing something like this? What's a bandolier? God damn it, I have to look it up. What is that? The knife's partly concealed by his coat, and the twin daggers he keeps strapped to his thighs. Yeah, it is. Fuck. Bandolier. No, I don't need to buy it. I just need to know what it is. Yeah, it's like a strap that goes across your chest. Yeah. Kind of like a satchel. It looks like it's generally used for bullets, though. So I'm not sure how you would use it in the context of knives. Maybe you're just holding a knife? I don't know. I don't know anything. But now I know what a bandolier is. I wonder idly how he manages to not cut himself on all that steel, as I'm sure there's plenty more hidden where I can't see. Want to do a strip search? No, I'm good. What? Stop torturing Kay, Damon. I don't know how it's possible, but Damon grins even wider, his head cocking to the side. In a moment, trigger happy. Oh, that's a nickname! They kiss or whatever. Oh my god, they're flirting. In a moment, trigger happy. Kay and I have some business to conduct. I panic. No, I'm not. My chest seizing while my mind ticks over exactly what he means by business. Kissing business. Well, I'm sure you've had a conversation worthy of a perfectly pleasant bunch with June. Brunch. I highly doubt the cowboy told you half of what goes down in Terrarium, so walk with me. Where are we walking to? I quickly realize he's not giving me a choice, and when he saunters over to the large control screen near the cockpit, I follow suit. Yeah, he's probably just warning us what's there. It's fine. He seems like an ass, but he's probably a nice guy. I don't trust him because there's a chance that, yeah, he's a good guy, but he's on that, like, arc where he's still mostly, like, a bad guy or whatever. But, what can I say? Damon barely spares me a glance as his fingers fly over the screen, typing and scrolling through the information I couldn't even begin to piece together if I wanted to. Think of Nos Vega like a giant sandbox, filled with loads of corrupted grains of sand. The kind of fun you'll find there isn't exactly legal, which means it's the best kind. He throws me a knowing grin before his eyes snap back to the screens in front of him. Casinos, bars, arenas, strip clubs, brothels, mods, weapons, dealers, you name it. They've got it. I almost choke on the arid description of the planet, and when I part my lips to speak, no words come out. Cauldron wanted me to leave me in a place like that? No, that's not cool. I mean, that's exactly what I would have expected for what they've been describing so far. A lawless land, blah, blah, blah. I know what you're thinking. What kind of man is the captain to ditch a lost, lonely traveler in a place like that? Am I right? How does he keep doing that? I don't reply, but I'm sure my slack jaw and disbelieving stare tell Damon everything he wants to know. He chuckles a little, and I'm glad at least one of us is amused by the situation. That sounds dangerous. Wouldn't it be fun if it wasn't? Oh, wouldn't be fun if it wasn't. I bite down on my tongue to keep from answering. His definition of fun is certainly an interesting one. Still, trigger happy over there is right. You shouldn't wander around there on your own, especially if you don't know the place. He glances at me, giving me a once-over, from head to toe, pulling his lips into a tight, unimpressed line. Or, if you don't know how to take care of yourself. What are you implying, nerd? I can take care of myself. Damon huffs a laugh, and I swear I hear him mumble cute under his breath. Oh my god! Damn! Stop! Okay. I think this man is fine. What can I say? Next. I'd like to see that, newbie. In fact, I might even pay to see that. Although I'm sure Cowboy would have a thing or two to say about it. I do nothing but narrow my eyes at him, to which he replies with a dark grin. As if that was the exact reaction he was hoping for. Anyway, I'm not your babysitter, and I don't particularly care what you do or don't do while we're there. So, take this just in case. He pulls back a leather sheath from his pocket of his coat and holds it towards me. On closer inspection, I notice the glint of metal and a sturdy handle. He's giving me a dagger. Apparently, not one to wait around for decisions to be made, Damon clicks his tongue and at me impatiently. Take it. You'll need it. Oh, sure. Why not? Take it. I hesitate for a moment, wondering if he's going to stick it in my gut himself before I reach out and take it. Oh, actually, let me... Just because I know... Oh, God. Wait. Boys. I done messed up. Okay, hold on. I'm silly. I just needed to scroll. Okay, let's save it right here. Just in case it goes wrong. Okay, I'm still gonna take it, though. If what I've heard of Nos Vega is true, I don't like the sort of place I should be wandering around unprotected. Yeah. Damon cocks a dark eyebrow, a gesture that makes me wonder if he's surprised I took the dagger at all. Do you know how to use it? Stick him with the pointy end. You got that right. Try not to kill yourself with it, will you? I don't need another reason for the captain to be on my back. Hey! Damon, how are things looking on your end? Cauldron's deep voice cuts through our conversation short, and when I turn towards the cockpit, his attention is still firmly fixed on the controls in front of him. I would question if he's noticed my presence at all, having not received so much as a glance from him, but I don't think anything escapes that man. The radar's coming up clean. No active patrols on the quadrant for the time being. Oppo has the yard cleared for landing. We're good to go. Ayame? We're coming into orbit. Switching autopilot off and preparing for landing. All stats are looking good despite, well, you know. Sebastian? Who's Sebastian? Oh, Bash! Your name is Sebastian? What a cutie pie. Would it kill you to call me Bash like everyone else? Sebastian. A sigh crackles through the receiver, followed by Bash's voice once again, bright and bold. Engines are A-OK. Let's get busy. Damon snickers beside me, shaking his head before he pushes me toward an empty chair and sits me down. Bark! This man is fine as fuck. Honestly, guys, would it be toxic as fuck of me to date him anyways? This is like that demon guy from Touchstar, where you're like, he's probably a bad choice, but he's just so fine, how can I not pick him anyway? Does he even hear himself? I raise an eyebrow as he straps me in, securing the belts around me in place. And pulling twice to ensure they're firm. Okay, that's kind of fine as fuck, though. He made sure he told us what was on the planet, he gave us a weapon to defend ourselves, and now no one else has told us to sit down, but he's the one, I guess he's kind of forcefully doing it, but at least, he's making sure we're not gonna fly through the windshield. Save. Save again. Yes. Thanks. Damon winks at me in answer, stepping away once. Once he's happy, I'm securely fixed into place. He's so fine. What can I say? What can I say? Hey. Everyone take your seats. We're about to enter Terranium's atmosphere. The sound of metal groaning catches my attention when Damon takes a seat next to me, strapping himself in just as the ship lurches and rumbles. Leaning forward as far as my restraints will allow, the beige-orange mass of terrarium surrounds us. The vivid neon lights and unusual buildings of Nos Vega are growing closer and closer as we approach our destination. Oh, this looks like something I've seen before. Maybe. When we descend to the loading ramp, the first thing that hits me is the heat. Not the balmy kind of warmth that you find on a summer's day, but the scorching of fiery engines and hot metal. The late afternoon sun hangs low in the sky, and the metallic, oily scent lingers in the air. I wrinkle my nose at it, surveying my surroundings. We're on a landing strip in what looks to be some kind of junkyard. Scrap metal piles up on either side of us, broken down robots, rusted, old hovercrafts, outdated droids. A graveyard of poor, unwanted things. It's a relief to step onto solid ground after a few days in space, and I toe the dirt beneath my shoe, kicking up a small cloud of dust as I do so. Following behind the group, my eyes drift idly over the piles of junk surrounding us, until my gaze falls on a serving bot, an older model from by the looks of what I can see of it, laying half-buried while a pile of rusted limbs, metal arms and legs and torsos, thrown haphazardly into a pyramid. That's some Wall-E business. I step towards it. Actually, it's more like Detroit Become Human if you really think about it. Is that a gun? Oh, that's the beat dropping, in fact. I was like, is that a gun? I step towards it, its black eyes, one cracked right down the middle, staring into mine, and its mouth open and closing slowly like a dying goldfish. A shiver runs through me, and I find myself feeling oddly sorry for the machine, left lost and alone among the skeletons of its own kind. Someone grabs my arm and yanks me aside roughly, and I see immediately what they've saved me from impaling my foot on. A piece of scrap metal lays half buried in the sand, its jagged edge poking up ominously through the dust. Oh, thank you. Be careful. Cauldron gives me a hard look, his face schooled into an expression of pure annoyance. He's kind of real for that, though, because you know what? If I stepped on this place where they said it's dangerous as fuck, and I don't remember anything, the last thing I'm going to be doing is stepping anywhere away from this group, from pure anxiety. Save again. Here. Thanks. I mutter a thanks to the captain, though I wonder why I bothered when he merely turns and keeps walking. I mean, better than saying I knew it was there, because I didn't know it was there, I would have stepped on it. I don't know why, exactly, but he seems even more on edge on the ground than he did on the ship. I mean, because it's a dangerous place to be. They already said that multiple times, girl. Lock in. I get the impression he's not too fond of the planet. Music's going crazy. I can't stop myself from scowling at his back as we walk along, the clouds of dust growing thicker around us the further we get. June told me I should stay close to someone while we're here, and after hearing about the planet, I agree with him. I'd feel more comfortable if that someone was... I get to pick! Save! god! Nobody's crazy! Oh no, it seems that my cursor is accidentally drifting to Damon. Damn. I fall on a step beside the assassin, who gives me a once-over and raises a dark eyebrow. Don't tell me you're expecting me to look out for you while you're here. I'm just hanging out. My eyes narrow on him, feeling slightly foolish for thinking that he, of all people, would care about what happens to me here. I mean, he does. He just doesn't want that responsibility, because if he loses me, then that's on his shoulders. Why is the music getting louder? Hello? I can look after myself. Good. We don't have to walk much further until we're greeted by a scaled lizard-like being who smiles and spreads their arms wide to welcome us. Sorry. I don't like snakes. They creep me out. I break away from the group to get a better look at our host.
Welcome, my friends. Oppo is very, very happy to see you again.
Cauldron steps forward first, a rumble of impatience hanging thick in his words. Skip the pleasantries, Oppo. We're here on business. Oppo drops their arms, surveying Cauldron with an almost fearful look. I don't blame them, really. The captain is an intimidating man. Music might be a little loud. Just turn that down a little bit. A little bit up. Me trying to judge words too loud.
Yes, of course.
Do you have the parts?
Right over here, Captain.
Cauldron strolls over to the pile of metal Oppo indicated towards with Damon in tow, while Aya steps forward to give Oppo a much friendlier greeting. How have things been around here, Op? She smiles up at the lizard, who towers above her and makes a non-committal kind of sound.
Bad. Very bad since the...
What is that?
Chimeri took over power. Oppo barely gets enough water to keep the club running. Now that they have control of the council, every oasis on the planet is under their order.
Oh, that sucks. Aya's eyebrows dip, her expression shifting to one of pure horror. Sovak gave the clan control of the Council of Embers?
Yes, the old councilors executed. Many of the arena fighters have been taken from the planets to serve in the kingdom's army. Oppo fears bad things are coming to all planets.
This is some Galra shit. June frowns, and I can't help but notice Oppo shy away a little, having only just noticed he was there. I fear you might be right, Oppo. The Council of Embers? I ask Bash, who is standing beside me, and he whispers back his answer. The Council of Embers are the terrarium's government. Every planet has one. The Council of Eons on Talarian, the Council of Iron on Cursa, the Council of Essence on Orion. There was also the Council of Pearl before Catalfa was destroyed. All of them answer to the Crown Council on Goldus, who in turn answers to and advises the Monarch. The Monarch? Zovak? Bash makes a face, and I wonder if it was the wrong thing for me to say. Most would argue that against his claim. The monarchy has always been passed down through the royal Pegasi family ever since its creation. Zovak fought his way to the throne and took it by force. He's a ruthless man, and his clan, the Chimeri, are just as bad. While June and Aya carry on their conversation in hushed tones, I feel a hand on my back as Bash steers me towards Oppo, hailing them with a wave of his bionic arm. Oppo, I want you to meet Kay. The Arcnos looks me over, their beady eyes blinking rapidly, and their forked tongue darting out from behind the pointed teeth.
Mr. Brash has brought Oppo a new slave, yes?
That's crazy. No, Oppo, no, this is our new friend.
And they're not slaves, they're employees.
Oh, sorry, wrong person. They're not slaves, they're employees.
Yes, employees. That's what Oppo said.
Something tells me Oppo's kind of sus as hell, if you ask me. Bash shakes his head at the lizard and then leans a little closer to whisper to me. I do not give Oppo slaves, just so we're clear. I think, I'm gonna be real, I think Oppo doesn't care. I think Oppo did it anyway. An ungraceful snort escapes me. Crystal. I feel a nudge on my arm, and when I turn, Oppo is beside me, teeth barred in a pointed smile.
You will come and work for Oppo, yes? Better than slumming it with the Astrometer crew.
It's Andromeda, Oppo. How many times have we been over this? Oppo blinks at Bash once, and then twice, ignoring him completely as they turn back to me.
A spot just opened up in Oppo's club. Very popular tourist destination. Oppo will give you a good price. No need to worry.
Back off, Oppo. This one's with us. Cauldron shoulders his way past the Arcnos, standing between us and blocking me from Oppo's beady eyes. I can't see Oppo's reaction, but I hear the reply come from Cauldron's other side.
Yes, Captain. At once.
How much for the parts?
2,000 credits.
2,000. Cauldron leans in and says something to Oppo in a harsh whisper I don't understand. I realize after a moment that he's spoken in another language entirely.
For you, Oppo will take 400. And Oppo's junkers will install the parts for you free of charge.
Cauldron leans back and crosses his arms over his chest, looking awfully pleased with himself.
You go to the club while you wait. Show your new friend that our hospitality here in Las Vegas.
No chance. I'm staying with the ship.
Come on, party pooper. The ship's in good hands, isn't it, Ope? Yes. Ope will take very good care of it.
Cauldron looks unconvinced, though he heaves a sigh despite his hesitation, and Aya gives him an excited clap on the back before she turns to me. We are gonna have so much fun. She's so funny. The streets of Nos Vega are a minefield of neon lights, tiny shop fronts and stalls, and all manners of creatures roaming the city. It doesn't take us long to reach our destination, stopping outside a large, odd-shaped building with a fluorescent sign on the front reading The Ark. Oh, this is that place we were talking about that Damon goes to all the time. The bar we entered is crowded, overflowing with humans, catalphans, Arcnos, and some species I've never seen before. The crowd in here is so diverse, so colorful and unique, that I can't help but let my eyes wander. A small group of Arcnos hide away in the corner to the back. Low hisses and chirps are the only thing that can be heard among their heated discussion. Waiters hurry through the crowd, dressed in tight, dark outfits. Most look human, with varying degrees of bionic alterations. Synthetic limbs, cybernetic enhancements. Some of them look more animal than human. A couple of catalphans stand out among the crowd, their gills shimmering brightly with some sort of pearlescent substance. It doesn't take long to realize there are no Talari, and I wonder why that is. I feel a little out of place here, as one of the only two Talari, and the various sets of eyes settle on us, making the flush spread across my face even more fierce. It feels like the kind of place someone would come to escape, to disappear in a crowd, lose yourself for a night, even forever. I wonder if their crew feels the same, if there are things, places, people that they too wish they could escape. The Ark is most definitely a world of its own, and I wonder how deeply it would drag me down the rabbit hole if I let it. I'm certain this will shape my personality, so let's add a new one. What did they just say? Somewhere you come to lose yourself. Let's see okay, so if we're going with this is building up every choice we make, every decision of what we do and don't like fills our personality. We're going with the thought process that if I love this place, I love a place where I can run away from my life and the things that I don't like. Which I personally, I don't mind it for some people, but I just don't like it for myself. Not sure how to feel about it. It's a lot to take in. The lights, the crowd, the noise. But at the same time, this could be exactly what I need after spending a few days cooped up on the ship. I wouldn't mind exploring a little to find out more about the place. My eyes dart to Damon just in time to see him heave a heavy sigh, and I'm not surprised to find he's clearly not impressed by the place. I know I shouldn't watch him as long as I have, giving his penchant for knowing exactly when I am, but I can't stop myself. His position shifts, and it's then that I notice the quirk of his lips, as his attention falls upon one of the scantily clad waitresses behind the bar. Something stirs in me. It's called jealousy. An unwanted spike of annoyance, and I force myself to swallow it down and look away. Because tell me why I did that too. I was like, that bitch. That's totally his personality type though, so I'm not shocked. More than a few eyes watch as we enter, sizing up the newest patrons of the club. Most of them seem to know the crew, while some are friendly, offering greetings or simply nodding their heads. Others are not so much. The crew doesn't seem to mind the odd, unfriendly glare they receive, either ignoring it completely or in some cases, giving it back just as rough. Yeah, I knew they wouldn't. Don't wander too far. It's safe enough in the club, but don't leave this place on your own. Okay. Cauldron gives me a hard look before he heads towards the bar, and I resist the urge to roll my eyes at him. Damon grins at me, unknowingly nudging past me to join the captain. Oh, okay. I can't stop myself from watching him as he glides through the crowd, as smooth as shadows. We'll meet back here in a couple of hours. Ayame flashes me a smile, skipping towards the curtain near the back of the room. When she pushes it to the side, I get a glimpse of the stage, so long it almost looks like a catwalk. June lets out a weary sigh from beside me, before striding off to catch up with the pilot. Okay. Oh, I could have hung out with them! Don't get in too much trouble. Bash grins, and I watch as he heads to a separate room off the side of the building, Riona hot on his heels. I peek through the door a little before the curtain flits back into place after them, catching a glimpse of felt-lined tables and plastic chips offering different colors. Okay, so someone went to the strip club and someone went to the casino, and we're just at the bar. Deciding I'd like to learn more about the crew and my future with it, I push my way through the crowd and finding myself at the bar. Okay, because we picked him, we are here at the bar. Here's our little stowaway. I don't like that. Not a good nickname. Damon grins at me, wide and wolfish, leaning sideways against the bar. What'll it be, newbie? I think I should just get water. Whatever you're having, princess. Oh my god. So Damon signals to the bartender ordering our drinks, and I watch the strange purple concoction being poured in front of him. Wisps of turquoise smoke pour over the rim of the glass as he pushes it towards me, his bright eyes fixed on my face in subtle amusement. Oh, nor. I take a sip immediately, making a face as the bitter liquid hits my tongue. Oh yeah, it's that shrimp thing! I should have known better than to order the same thing as him after what June said on the ship. Don't you two have anywhere else to go? Oh, I'm sorry, Commander. Are we disturbing you in your bar stool of solitude? Don't call me that. What do you call him? Commander. Weird. Commander. That's a military thing, right? To the internet. I'm trying to piece together lore. Guys, you need to remember, this is not just a dating sim, it's like a mystery game. Commander. This is what I do during Phoenix Wright. Okay, not pictures of commanders, nerd. Commissioned rank in the Navy or the Coast Guard. Okay. Okay. Good job. So yeah, military stuff. Damon grins, and I know he hit Cauldron exactly where he wanted to. But it's such a good title. Cauldron tenses, shoulders tight, as Damon turns to me. You see, our dear captain here was a commander in Orsana's Guard. Like I know where that is. Orsana's Guard? To my surprise, Cauldron is the one who answers. They're the law here in the system. Their base is on Goldus. Oh, that's why you're so butthurt about it. Something about the way he says this intrigues me. There's a kind of loathing in his eyes, a bitter disdain. Why did you leave? I didn't have a choice. I want to ask more, but he doesn't seem to want to talk about it. I try a different question instead. Did you know the royal family? Not really. I was stationed in the city, the Bronze District mostly. That's where they hide their street rats of Siltavi. Stick 'em in factories and work 'em until they bleed. Cauldron gives Damon a look, though the latter only shrugs and takes a long drink from his glass. What? I can't give the newbie a little background on the planet we snatched them from? Cauldron makes an unimpressed sound, a kind of growl in the back of his throat, and Damon turns back to me, arms folded over his chest. Let's see if we can hotwire that brain of yours with a bit of info, shall we? Oh, okay. I like that idea. Siltavi has 3 districts. Gold, home of luxury items, jewels, high-end tech, and fashion couture. Think of all that pompous, hoity-toity assholes you've met, and the chances are that's where they're from. I see. I resist the urge to glance at Cauldron, and I think Damon notices by the knowing glint in his eyes. Silver, technology, and trade. All transport to and from the capital goes through this district, and it's closely monitored by the guard. And bronze, factories, power plants, and steelworks, the dregs of Goldus, and where they assign only the fiercest of the guard. Damon shoots out a quick look at Cauldron before whispering to me, in my opinion, I think that's where they stationed the soldiers they wanted to punish. Punish is interesting. I agree. Like, if you've ever seen, it's an odd comparison, but if you have seen, sorry, this is spoilers if you haven't seen it. Oh, what's it called? It's the Hunger Games movie about snow. I think it's called, like, Songbirds and shit. Hold on. Let me look up what it's actually called. Yeah, Songbirds and Snakes. Is that what it's called? The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So, that one, when Snow does something to get in trouble, which I can't remember, and it doesn't matter. So I guess this is a little less spoilery than you think it is. But he does something, gets in trouble, and they end up, you know, he's supposed to be like part of the capital, which would be the Gold District in this instance. And because he mucked up, they sent him to District 12, which would be the Bronze District. So hypothetically, based on the fact that, you know, we're saying that snobby people are in the Gold District, it would make sense sending people who are in trouble to the district that they find to be lower class or whatever. Sorry. Yawning again. His lips quirk and my own follow suit. Cauldron appears to be pretending to have not heard him. All citizens of the capital work and live in these districts. For the glory of Goldus, as they say. Bunch of bullshit, if you ask me. He raises an eyebrow, scanning my face for something only he knows. Does any of this strike a chord with you? I shake my head. None of it sounds familiar. Maybe I'm not from Goldus after all. That was a weird way to say that, but okay. God forbid you end up being from Cursa. I don't know what that means. Oh, this is cute. Look at them hanging out and their friends, whatever. He has a mark right here. Like a tattoo-y mark. I don't know if it's like a mark or if it's like a burn or if it's like a birthmark. My planet breeds warriors, I'll have you know. Oh yeah? What happened to you then? What happened to you then? Get gone, bitch! Damon grins wolfishly, his steady gaze sizing up the captain in a way that has him narrowing his eyes into thin slits of blue. Come closer and I'll tell you. They're gonna kiss! Let me back up from your man. Cauldron rolls his eyes, clearing his throat for good measure. Last I heard, you detested your planet. Why defend it now? You want to talk about detesting planets? You look pretty content to sit on your ass instead of trying to find a way back to yours. Moms must be so worried about their precious golden boy. And let's not forget that. Watch your mouth. Or what, Cal? I think we're turning from flirting into fighting. The mood around us grows thick. Tension hangs heavy in the air. I almost decide to head off and find someone else, leaving the two of them to their argument until Cauldron lets out a heavy sigh. I don't want to talk about that. Damon bangs a fist on the bar in front of him, and it's the first time I've seen him genuinely angry. Aren't you the one who always tells me to talk about shit? We have more important things that we have to worry about. The fact that Cauldron hasn't fully snapped at Damon surprises me, and I wonder about the nature of their relationship. I mean, they at least respect each other. They at least respect each other enough to call each other out for shit and to fight. Like, they must be friends to some extent because they're fighting. In a way where they're holding each other accountable rather than, yeah, they're making digs at each other. But he wouldn't know, like, Damon wouldn't know that stuff about Cauldron if he didn't tell him. So my assumption is that he told him. And they were friends. And he's just, you know, they both have their big fat walls. Fine, suit yourself. They turn away from each other, both of their shoulders tense. I want to say something, but before I can find the words, I notice Damon staring at me, freezing me in place with a cold stare. Let's talk about something else, shall we? Or rather, someone else. A sense of foreboding settles in my stomach. I'm not sure I like the way Damon grins when he says that. Looks like we have a dilemma on our hands. What exactly are we going to do with you, newbie? The captain rolls his eyes and clears his throat, cutting to the chase. What he means is we don't do charity. You can't stay on Andromeda 6 if you're just going to be another mouth to feed. Which means you gotta work. Oh no, I never said I was averse to work, jackass. You know what? Let me get my fist out, buddy. Damon looks me up and down, and I swallow thickly. I'm not doing all that, okay, girl? What kind of work? That's irrelevant. You just need to choose who you'd rather answer to. Huh? I can choose anyone? No. The crew already has enough on their hands. They don't need any added burdens. What are you talking about? I narrow my eyes at him. His choice of words is poor, but in a way I understand what he means. I don't want to be a burden. Pulling my own weight is in exchange for food and accommodation sounds fair enough to me. So it's either me or Damon, stowaway. I'm the captain, and he's second in command. Oh, he is? I thought it was Aya. I guess she's just the pilot. It's only fair the responsibility falls on one of us. I see. Go ahead and choose, newbie. Me or Cal. I mean, she's really making me choose. Cauldron growls a little at the nickname, but lets it slide for the time being. I mean, yeah, again, because also, you choose your second, so they must get along to some extent. Guys, I think you know who I'm gonna pick. Oh my God, this is so stupid of me. Damon! Oh my God! This is a dumb idea. Anyways, I should have just chosen Bash all the way through. I really should have, because I do like Bash a lot. Bash and Aya. I would have picked either of them as well. Riona's just too basic. I don't really it's the same for, it's weird. You would think that, I forgot his name. That's how basic he is, which is my type. I like people who are regular, like, they do the same thing every day. They're they're consistent. They're emotionally intelligent. They're emotionally regulated. They communicate. I like those people, which is generally the people. They're boring. They don't do anything. I forgot his name, though. The guy with the guns. Whoever he is. Sorry, forgot your name. Again. I'm not entirely confident with my choice, especially when I notice the way Damon is all but devouring me with his steady gaze. I just hope he doesn't make a big deal about it. In that case, I choose Damon. Your responsibility now, Damon. Don't go palming it off on the other on any of the crew. Yeah, I got it. Don't get your panties in a twist, Commander. Cauldron glowers in response, looking like he'd love nothing more than to break his bottle over Damon's skull. Obviously thinking better of it, he takes one last swig of his drink, leaving the bottle in the bar before he turns and disappeared into the crowd. I mean, he wasn't disappointed by me choosing Damon, so I'm not upset. Hey. Damon turns to me, looking nothing short of delighted that the two of us are now alone. Oh, well, now you're making it weird. So, you're gonna drink that or what? I take a polite sip of my drink, my eyes holding his, and watching the smirk on his lips tilt higher as the seconds pass. deciding that if I'm going to be working for the guy, I should probably know more about him, I settle for the question I believe is less likely to get me disemboweled. So, what was it like growing up on Cursa? Damon hesitates, swirling the contents of his glass as he weighs the words carefully. I wouldn't call it growing up, more like surviving. Cursa's a shithole, simple as that. Something in his tone gives me pause. I think there's more to it than he's willing to let on. I mean, probably, yeah. You're awfully defensive about it with Cauldron earlier. Why would anyone want to defend a shithole? Unless... Damon gives me a hard look, and I stop, wondering if I'd even seen the knife before he sinked it into my gut. Luckily for me, it only takes a moment before he shrugs his shoulders, clearly deciding to play a different card. I didn't. I was trying to rattle him, that's all. I'm not sure if you noticed, but it's a rather easy feat. I raise an eyebrow at him, unconvinced. He's a good liar, I'll give him that, but I don't believe that he's as reluctant to talk about it as he thinks he is. It didn't look that way. Damon moves away from me, resting his forearms on the bar and taking in a sharp inhale, probably in an attempt to keep from murdering me where I stand. Maybe I crossed a line, though I can't say I'm sorry for it. But if he really doesn't want to talk about it, his home, then I'm not going to push him any further. A few moments pass and I finish my drink, preparing to walk away from the bar before a low voice stops me in my tracks. There's nothing about that godforsaken place that's worth sharing, believe me. I study Damon closely, taking in the crease of his forehead, the tightness of his jaw. Or remembering, but unfortunately, it's not something you just forget. Believe me when I tell you, you're not from Cursa. There's not one single thing about you that comes close to the place I left behind. He keeps his eyes on his glass, though it's as if he's staring straight through it, lost instead inside the remnants of his past. It's a slum, through and through. There are no schools, no guards, no Crown Council. Oh, the Crown Council doesn't give a shit about it, being as small and distant as it is. Smack dab in the middle of Terrarium and Batulin? So you can imagine the leadership. The Council of Iron is a joke, run by the most ruthless clan leaders, fashioning themselves into politicians and constantly fighting among themselves. Okay. T, good to know. The planet's a haven for crime. Clans and gangs run haywire, while the rest of them sit around and cower. He uses the word them, almost as though he refuses to consider himself one of the natives. That sounds rough. Damon chuckles, though there's no warmth in the sound when he finally looks at me. His eyes are cold, as hard as flint and steel. You ain't heard the half of it. When I say it's a shithole, I mean it. It's almost impossible for those who are born there to make it out alive, free or on their own. It's either in a body bag, in handcuffs, or as a member of one of the gangs. It suddenly makes a lot more sense to me why Damon is the way he is. It can't have been easy growing up in a place like that. Was it always that bad? He stops to think, sliding his tongue over his teeth and fixing me with that hard stare. I don't think so. The land itself ain't that bad. Plenty of ground for farming if anyone had the tools or the freedom to do it, but I can't say I ever cared to look into it. Once you make it out, you don't go back. Ever. And how did you make it out? None of your business, newbie. You've asked me more than enough questions already. His eyes are sharp, and a pang of hurt hits me. I only wanted to know more about him. Forget I asked then. My bar stool scrapes along the ground as I push it back, intending to ignore him and head off to the club. Oh, cut it out. I don't get why you care so much. See, this is where it's difficult, because even at this point, I wouldn't say I care about my friends because we're not friends. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that'll set him off, because even me, myself, and I'm like, I've known this nerd for, like, what, 2 days? maybe, okay, a few days. But I've probably spoken to him only 2. Today and the first day. With a big fat gap in the middle. So why would I call him friends when we don't even know each other? But also, it might be that Toru Honda effect, you know what I mean? But also, we might be Toru Honda-ing our way through it. Let's just try it. It's saved, right? Yeah, let's just try it, see what happens. I care about my friends. He tries to put on a tough front, but I've caught glimpses of behind that mask, and I know there's so much more to him. I care about the people I consider friends. Friends, that's all. He's not smiling, but the glint in his eye holds a barrel of amusement, and it's a struggle to keep my own face straight. I mean... Damon lets out an ungraceful snort at my stuttering, and it breaks and breaks our stare with a wave of his hand. Friends, huh? I know, we're not as close as you and Cauldron, but... I know. Sorry, I hurt your precious feelings. Thinking it's probably best to change the topic while Damon's in a better mood, I ask something else that I'd been thinking about. Earlier with Oppo, what language was Cauldron speaking with them? That? Arcnos. Do you speak it? Roughly. Enough to get my work done, but nowhere near as much as our dear Cal does. He does fancy education and all. I just picked it up as I went. The way he said that made it clear he wasn't going to elaborate. He was threatening the poor thing, using the times we had to bail them out as leverage. Threatening? Yeah, I picked that up. Yeah. Have you ever really seen him do anything else? You're a curious thing, aren't you? His soft smile takes me by surprise. Sorry. I've never expected to see anything so gentle from him. Oh my god, we're gonna kiss later. You, me, kissing. I'm gonna shut up. Oh my god. Perhaps it's the alcohol loosening him up. If that's the case, I might as well take advantage of it. Does that mean you'll let me ask another question? I'll give you one more. I have to bite down on my lip to keep from grinning triumphantly. I only have one question, so I better make it a good one. What happened to your family? Are they still on Cursa? Well, that's 2 questions. His eyes go hard, obviously not expecting that topic of all things. That's 2 questions, newbie. That's what I said, too. His voice is rough, and for half a second I think he's gonna get up and leave until he rolls his neck and fixes me with a hard stare. No family, no one left behind that cared. No one that cares back home. His voice is neutral, almost uninterested, but somehow that hurts more. I don't know if I have a family, if there's anyone waiting for me wherever I came from. I have no clue, but actually knowing that you have no one, that's worse on so many levels. This is probably what I'd actually say. Wait. What did he say? No family. Don't know if I know one that cares back home. Well, yeah, he said back home. I care. His words settle on my skin like gravel, grating against me uncomfortably. Damon may be rude and obnoxious, but something about him draws me in. And I have to admit that I care about him, perhaps more than I should. What is it now? Trying to undress me with your eyes? I don't have to do that. You know, all you have to do is ask. Go crazy! Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Jail. Actually, can I put this bitch in jail? Actually. I roll my eyes, resisting the savage urge to push him off his chair. That's not it, and you know it. Then why are you looking at me like that? I probably shouldn't say anything, only adding ammunition to his relentless teasing, but I can't stop now. Hey, I gave you the chance. Get away. I care, Damon. The lifted eyebrow is the only sign that he heard me, and my breath stutters as he looks me over, his eyes narrowing into disbelieving slits of blue. I know I hardly know you, but I would care if something happened to you. Damon's face shifts, revealing that half-cocked grin that sets my skin on fire as he leans closer. His eyes lazily searching mine. Princess! You would. Oh my god, get away from me. So sick of you. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. Stop. The scent of lemon and blueberry hangs between us, his breath warm on my face as he leans closer still. My throat tightens, chest heaving with a short, sharp breaths, as I try and fail to compose myself despite his closeness. Yes. The word comes out in a breath. Oh, sorry, I didn't say it like that. Yes! Though it's Damon's fingers trailing up my thigh that have me completely frozen in place. You're crazy! Okay, get away from me. You're inappropriate. You're inappropriate, so I need you to step away from me. You shouldn't say that unless you really mean it. I mean it. He chuckles, the sound almost sad as he pulls away abruptly and then leans back on his seat. Of course you do. but that doesn't mean you should, newbie. Changing the subject to something less morose. Let's talk about your future, now that I'm your boss and all. Oh yeah, that too. My boss? That's right, kiddo. You picked me, and now you've got to deal with the consequences. He winks at me lazily, and I give him a withering glare in return. We're a small crew in a small ship with a very large bounty on our heads. We can't afford any leeches hanging around. I'm not a... Wait, what? Bounty? What do you mean a bounty? And I'm not a leech. Honestly, I've had plenty of bounties in my head. Took care of them all myself, but this one is complicated. And you are a leech. You've been draining our food and water up until now without lifting a finger. It's about time you make yourself useful around the ship. I don't mind pulling my weight, but I don't have the first clue about where to start. What would you have me do? He gives a suggestive grin, eyes going dark with what I can only imagine are the most sinful of thoughts. You better mind your business. Leaning back, he cocks his head to one side, dragging his eyes from my toes to my lips, and at last settling them on my own with a practiced casual ease. I'm gonna get you. Oh, I'd have you do many, many things. I don't want to help you anymore. I would like to switch. I hate this guy. Yeah, you know what? Shut up, bitch. Yeah, actually, let me get my fist out, idiot. Let me punch you. Square in the throat. It's a struggle to keep my lips from twitching, but I'm determined to extract a serious answer from him. How about we forget the games for once? But it's so much fun playing with you. Ugh, Bark. He's kind of fine, what can I say? I let out an impatient breath before rolling my eyes and desperately trying to hide the fact that his words are rubbing me in all the right ways. Please, be serious. Sighing, Damon drains the last of his drink, and his claw clenches tighter as he thinks it over. Maybe it'd be up for a little bounty hunting. I could show you the ropes, you know. 150 ways to kill a man with a spoon and all that jazz. I let out a snort, rolling my eyes at the very idea. Bounty hunting? Don't you have to be a mercenary to get access to that data? Yes, you do. I stop abruptly, the shock hitting me like a wall. That's what you all are? Mercenaries? If you're good at something, people pay you to do it. And I am very, very good at what I do. He almost purrs that last part, and I have to swat at him just to get rid of the stupid smirk on his face. You got a problem with it? There's the door. He waves a dismissive hand, and I almost wonder if he wants me to get up and walk away. All I've ever known of mercenaries has been tainted with preconception, hired guns no better than space pirates, whose mercilessness knows no bounds. Damon and even Cauldron fit the bill well enough, but when I think of the others, June, Riona especially, I can't help but wonder if they're not all that Damon is making them out to be. I don't have a problem, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it, that's all. But I can't imagine myself killing anyone with a spoon. What kind of things would you really have me do? You don't have to do anything, yet. Huh? But aren't I supposed to? What you're supposed to do is not be a nuisance and sit here like a good little pet while I go and get another drink. Don't call me pet, I'll get you. I glare at him, watching his back as he moves a little further down the bar to signal the bartender. Hey, pretty one, let me buy you a drink. My attention shifts to the man who slid up beside me, far too close for comfort. He's human by the looks of things. Yeah, a human man would do that, wouldn't he? Though 2/3 of his face and arms have both been replaced by bionics, and his voice has a strange metallic echo to it. His eyes focus on me, both of them glowing an eerie neon green. It takes me a few moments to compose myself and wave a hand in front of me. No, thank you. I barely turned away when a cold middle hand grabs my arm and almost yanks me completely off my seat. I let out a yelp, surprised by the sudden heat of his breath on the side of my face. I wasn't giving you a choice. No one says no to me around here. If you wanted to invite someone else to join us, Kay, you could have just asked. My heart skips a beat when Damon's arms snake around my waist. Bark! Pulling me closer against the warmth of his body, holding me tight. Bark? I'm frozen in place, the sound of my beating heart pounding in my ears as I blink at Damon dumbly, too stunned to move. Hey, can you get that guy off my arm, or... What are you... Oh, I see what's happening here. You were gonna run off with this fine, metallic gentleman and leave me all alone, weren't you? Damon's tone is mocking. When his eyes fall upon the stranger in front of us, the humor drains from his face. You still have that blade I gave you earlier, yes? Why don't you just go ahead and handle this one yourself, sweetheart? I'm not gonna stab someone. I only took it for protection. Protection from this dipshit counts. I don't think it does, Damon. And besides, the man interrupts, waving a hand in front of my face, his eyes wide and terrified. Did you just call your boyfriend Damon? He's not my... They did. It's my boyfriend now, girl. The color drains from what's left of his face, his mouth hanging agape for a few moments before he manages to stutter and speak again. As in, Reznor? I don't go by that name anymore. The shadow that clouds Damon's face sends a shiver through me. Letting out a little low whistle, the stranger steps back a few steps. His hand held in front of him protectively. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know this one was taken. And it shouldn't matter if this one is taken or not. No means no, you piece of shit. Get him! Get him! Get him, period! This time I'm positive the man whimpering and I'm positive the man whimpering before mumbling another apology and scampering away. I watch until he disappears into the crowd, out of sight, and Damon lets out a frustrated breath beside me. Dirty, no-good scumbag. Who the fuck does he think he is, calling me that? Save. He obviously doesn't like that name. I'm gonna just thank him. Despite not being the biggest fan of how he helped, I can't deny that he did help. And though it doesn't seem like he particularly wants to talk about that either. Thanks for the help. He didn't give me much of a choice when he decided to hang out with the sleaziest creature on this planet. Oh, right. I remember why I walked out on him now. It's really as if I never did tell you not to wander on your own. You left me! You left me! Don't start, bitch. You left me! I'll get you. Anyway, you should know better than to talk to strangers here. I didn't think that you cared. That was before you became my bloody responsibility. Have I thanked you for that yet? Because thank you so much. If you can't already tell, I'm thrilled. Oh, I know you're excited, girl. I give him a withering glare, thoroughly unimpressed with his sarcasm. Just don't go picking up any more strangers in bars, and we'll be just peachy. Oh, I don't like that response. Princess, I don't think I like that response. Load. We'll just see what the other ones are. Yeah. Let's just try don't ask, because I don't really want to know. He didn't push me on things about my past. Maybe it's time I return to favor. All I know is I shouldn't dwell on it now. Besides, I'm still mad at him. Anyway, you shouldn't have been in the talk to strangers here. Oh, okay, it's the same thing, so it doesn't matter. Okay, great. So then, save, load, same thing. Think, yeah, because it's the same thing. Yeah, okay then. A warmth spreads through me, flushing up to my neck and over my cheeks. He may be a jerk most of the time, but he did care enough to save me from that creep. I know a simple thank you would suffice, but something can't stop me from pushing his buttons just a little harder. Why? Are you jealous? Damon stops pacing and turning on me with a look so intimidating I don't understand if it's meant to frighten or fluster me. Why? Do you want me to be? Oh my god! Do you want me to want you to be? That's a bark of laughter that escapes him. It's so surprising that I wonder how many drinks he's had to loosen him up so much. Sorry, Kay. I don't get jealous. Makes one of us, bitch. You, out of all people? Oh, you'd be surprised. He's messing with me, I can tell. But two can play this game. I tap a finger against my bottom lip in thought, sliding closer as if to study him thoughtfully. Makes sense given how eager you were to share with him. Damon takes a step closer to me, closing the gap between us. Charged with electricity. Fuck! This is fun, guys. Who's having fun? I don't share, Kay. And if you ever get a taste, neither will you. Oh my god! Stop. Stop. Oh my god. Stop. I already don't share. I'm possessive. Thank you. Heat blooms in my chest, rushing up my neck, and it's difficult to gather a coherent thought. Damon laughs, cold air rushing to fill the space between us when he steps away and runs his hand through his dark hair. But for what it's worth, if I did let Cal kick you off the ship, why would I let anything happen to you now? Oh, you didn't? Oh, he was one of the people that stopped us from getting kicked off the ship. That's so sweet. Thank you, girl. Period. My mouth opens and closes stupidly. Was it really him? I had no idea. He'd never said anything. His gaze flickers over my face, and it softens. It's softer somehow, and as if he knew this would be enough to surprise me. I didn't know it was you. Thank you, Damon. I can't be sure, but beneath the dim overhead lights, I swear his cheeks flush. Oh my god, he looks so cutie pie! In a way I never expected to see. He's gonna love us. You can't run from me, bitch. Don't mention it. Seriously, don't tell anyone it was me. I'm gonna take a walk around. It's getting a little warm around here. Don't get in any trouble without me. I'm not gonna be your knight in shining armor every time you need rescuing. I think you're more of a thief than a knight. Have I managed to steal your heart yet? Oh my god, shut up! I can't. I love these characters fictionally, but if anyone ever spoke to me like this, I'd either get icked the fuck out, or I would get so flustered I would just laugh in their face, and it would be not a good time. If I managed to steal your heart yet. Bitch, I can't take you seriously. Shut the fuck up. No, you have not. Must be a pretty poor thief then. I shake my head at him, though I can't stop the stupid grin that threatens to spread across my face. You're terrible. I can't argue with that. See you around, Kay. Rah! Turning away from the bar, I'm drawn to the shouts floating across the room and back at the club, followed by a round of loud cheers. Okay. Pause. We've already been going long. I want to do it chapter by chapter, but we're already way over the hour mark. So this is where I'm going to stop this one. Oh my god, we got to know Damon so much. I love him. I said, I won't pick him. He's obviously the sus one. Nah. What can I say? What can I say? I'm a simple Goyle. I'm just a girl, in fact. What can I say? What can I say? It's hard being a criminal in this day and age. Anyways. So we'll pick this up next time, see what this loud crowd is. I lied. So last week, I didn't put the video up on Saturday like I was supposed to. Oh my god. For no reason. The video was done. It's completely finished. Like that's why I'm tacking on another hour to the last one. So this is technically a completely separate week later for me, but you get to reap the rewards, and honestly, good for you. Because when you see what I did for When the Night Comes, you're not gonna be happy. Anyways. Okay, I make my way through the crowd, sliding with my glasses on. Golly, I'm freaking blind. Sliding around a dark and dodgy looking dance floor before I push aside the curtain to the back room and freeze. Oh, hi. Oh, do we get to hang out with everyone anyway? Is this like a strip club? What is happening right now? Oh my god! Slay! Go crazy! Where are we right now? Aya, please come down from there. You're gonna break something. What voice do I give her? Every time I get back to Aya, I can't remember what I did. Oh no. What was it? Let's just go for it. Lighten up, will you? The only thing I'm breaking is hearts. I swear to God. You guys make me nervous. What is... Surveying the scene in front of me, it doesn't take long for the realization to dawn. With it, the shock of what is... Hello? I'm okay. Don't worry about it. The shock of what exactly is going on. Hidden at the back of the club, behind everything is green here though, of a dirty red curtain and a crowd of sleazy patrons is a strip club. Yeah, well, that's kind of what I got the vibe of. I wouldn't say that I'm surprised, but after meeting Oppo earlier, I'm really not. Yeah. I joined June beside the stage, distracting him from trying to coax Aya down from it for a mere moment when I cross my arms over my chest and give him a pointed look. Do we want to bully June? I think that'd be funny. I think we should do it for fun. Because you know what? We haven't gotten a lot of June, and he's like he hasn't given us a lot of content. I didn't take you for the strip club type. I didn't think this was your kind of scene, if you know what I mean. I know perfectly well, but it's complicated. I'm not judging you. To each their own. No, but A small smile tugs at my lips, and June chuckles, realizing that I'm only teasing him. Oh, yeah. She's so funny. I think she's the flyest one on this ship. Oh, yeah. Make it rain, Poppy. She's crazy with it. Sighing, June nods towards the stage. As I'm sure you can tell, Aya likes dancing. When I turn to the stage, it all starts to make sense. The one getting all these cheers from the crowd is Ayame. Yeah? Slay! Hell yeah! Let's go! It's so much fun! Grandpa June down there is trying to kill my vibe. So I can tell. Aya laughs and hooks her ankle around the pole, spinning around so many times I feel dizzy just watching her. She's killing it right now. Slay. I'm not trying to kill your vibe. I'm just worried about you. June rolls his eyes, exasperated, his voice almost lost among the noise surrounding us. Chillax, Daddy. How about you loosen up before you end up with a stick up your ass the size of the captain's? Dang, get ruined. Is she drunk? She must be drunk. Their eyes lock on each other, unflinching. Interrupted only when Aya twirls around the pole, her face appearing a mere moment later to continue the glaring match. Dang, she's crazy. I wring my hands in front of me awkwardly, thinking this is probably a good time to intervene and defuse the situation. The question is how. Oh. I see both sides of it. I don't know, like she's just having fun, but we're also on this planet that's known for getting people stuck in exuberant amounts of debt and not letting them out. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, I fear. Oh, my phone's over there. Hold on. Wait. Okay, sorry. I went on a whole thing. Anyways, I'm gonna agree with June, just because I'm worried about this place. This place is not the best. I agree with having fun, like that's great and all, but I just don't feel like this planet, based on what we've heard, is the best place to do that. So I'm gonna agree with June. June's right. How would we get out of here if the pilot falls down and hits her head and forgets how to fly a ship? Aya straightens up, crossing her arms over her chest unhappily and narrowing her eyes into slits of vivid violet. Oh, not you too. And here I thought you were fun. It's not about being fun, Ayame. We're just worried about you. Yeah, why don't you come down here and we can go get a drink or something? Yeah, right. We don't need another pair of party poopers hanging around when we already have Cauldron, who I might add can pilot the ship just as well as I can in a case of an emergency. Well, not as well as me, but you know what I mean. Ayame sighs heavily, then her lips twist into a grin that's positively demonic as she looks down at us. Whatever, I know you're just jealous of my amazing pole skills. Don't worry, Kay, I can give you a private show some other time. Ooh! That's crazy! That's crazy. Well, we tried. We tried. With another of her bubbly laughs, Aya grasps the pole and returns to twirling and dancing at the request of the gathering crowd, while I do nothing but stare after her dumbly. Don't mind her, she's all bark and no bite. Hey, I never said I'd be against the dance, you know what I'm saying? Come on, let's find a seat and keep an eye on her from a distance. June takes me by the hand, gently guiding me through the crowd and to an empty, darkened booth in the corner of the room. You know, I didn't think about it would be picking potentially, like, the person we're romancing as well. Oh well, we're not picking her. You know who we're picking? Damon. Anyways. The air is cooler here, and I take a deep breath, grateful to escape the stuffiness of the crowd around the stage. When I choose a side to sit down, June takes a seat beside me, instead of sitting opposite, his shoulders brushing against mine. His hand still clasps mine, almost unknowingly, and I can't help but smile at how protective he is of everyone in the crew. I have to resist the urge to flirt with everybody. We're devoted to our man. no, you can't make me. I love David. I love him. Let go. Wait. Save. Save. Yeah. Oh, look, I want to dance with somebody. Howdy, partner. I didn't realize they had names. Ooh, Shiny. What are the other ones? Arc. I'll drink to that. Yeah. Okay. Let his hand go. I'm good. He's like the one I'm least interested in out of all of them. I let go of his hand, and we leaned back against the leather seats, watching Aya with mild amusement. The silence between us is comfortable, and when June finally speaks, I can barely hear him over the noise of the crowd surrounding us. Sorry for dragging you into this, Kay. I lean closer to hear him better, giving an encouraging smile to show him that it's no trouble at all. I don't mind helping out a friend. I'm glad, because this will most definitely not be the same. Wait, what? This will definitely not be the last time I'll need your help reining in one of the crew. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they're all enjoying their pleasantries on this on this fair planet we've got going on. If you haven't already noticed, they can be a handful. I laugh when June waves a hand towards Aya on the stage, mouthing example A and shaking his head in mock defeat. I don't think we did such a great job this time, but despite that, just call me when you need me. She's totally wild, isn't she? You can say that again. Well, she's been through a lot. I don't blame her for loosening up from time to time. But someone has to watch out for her when Cauldron isn't around, and tonight, I'm on Aya duty. They're close, aren't they, Aya and Cauldron? They were in the guard together when Cauldron was exiled from Goldus. I wonder what happened. Did he say what happened? I don't remember anymore. Aya followed him. They've been inseparable ever since. I blinked dumbly. The two of them are at each other's throats more often than not. It's obvious that they're close, but I never knew exactly how deep their history ran together. Ayame left the guard for Cauldron? June rubs the back of his neck anxiously, looking towards the stage. It's a complicated story, and not mine to tell. Sensing a shift in the conversation, I decided I should probably steer it back into safer waters. Let's talk about you then. About me? Don't you need someone to look after you when you need to loosen up? June looks away, but not quick enough that I don't see the pain clouding those gentle eyes. I don't loosen up. He's been through a lot too. I suspect that every member of A6 has a story to tell. If you ever need to, I'm here for you. Thank you, but no need to lose your light over me. That he knows. Talari's skin loses its glow when her feelings darken impresses me. This man never ceases to surprise me. Golly! June's earnest smile makes my heart tighten. I wish there was something I could do. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm dying! yeah, that little... I don't know what that was. Jeez, my throat. Hello? I wish there was something I could do to help him, especially after everything he's done for me since I woke up. Tell me something about you. You already know pretty much all I know about me. I think it's time you tell me something about you. Do I, though? Maybe. But I know very little about you. You're right, you don't. Not many people do, to be honest. The way his bright smile faded so suddenly felt as if the stars had all faded too. I hardly know the man, but he's just been so nice to me. I should know more about him. Will you tell me more about where you're from, Orion? He seems a little uneasy, but he agrees with a nod of his head anyway. What do you want to know about it? I don't think it matters, but let's just say everything. I don't really know much about it, so everything is welcomed. Ugh, everyone settle in for me reading. I'm certain they were just telling us that it's going to be the long and short version. Let me get a sip of my water. Little sip of my water and wet the pipes before I have to read all this fucking dialogue. Because I'm a dumb bitch. Sure thing. June shifts in his seat, leaning back to get comfortable. I was born in Orion. It was the first planet that humans inhabited in the system, formerly known as Earth 400,000. Damn, that's crazy. Woo, 100 is crazy. It had a stable environment suitable for agriculture and cohabitation with native wildlife. Despite being about a quarter the size of Earth, it was a good place to start. Unfortunately, its size was what started the problems. The planet had overpopulated, flora and fauna were dwindling at an alarming rate, and the solution they came to was to take those who were willing to pay and move them to Goldus. But what about the natives? Surely life existed when humans moved to these planets? You're smart as a cookie. Oh, you're smart as a cookie? Hello? You're a smart cookie. The leaders of Silatoa would have us believe that there were no natives. That two perfect planets existed with no former life, waiting for us to take them, as they always do. And then we discovered Tyrannium and Cursa after that. Humans worked with Catalfans, eventually subjecting them to their rule. And with Arkno habitable only by the Arknos, only one alien stronghold remained. Talaran. June makes a face, a kind of grimace. I can't quite tell what his thoughts are in all this. But what happened to the natives? Where are they now? Extinct would be my guess. Destruction is human nature. Why would this be any different? Damn, he's kind of right though. The mining business was and still is their most profitable sector. Nickel and iron ore mostly, but there is one mine. Criminals and traitors are sentenced to work there, and it's... He struggles with the words, disgust and bitterness lacing his words so thickly, I find it harder and harder to distinguish between the gentleman breath. Beneath, hello? Deep in the mines, they discovered a substance, green metal, something much older and much more dangerous than anything the humans crafted up until then. Catalfan scientists, being the best and brightest at the time, turned it into something else. Of course they did. The thing is, the things they did to people in those mines, nobody did anything to stop it. It should have ended with the destruction of Catalfa, but still, they continued to. June stops, his throat bobbing uncomfortably, and his eyes hard. His hand twitches on the table in front of him, knuckles turning white where he clenches them tight, his teeth gritted hard. June? Let him speak. Let him... Go off, King. It hurts to know my own species did nothing to stop whatever happened to him. I thought Talari were supposed to be healers. But I needed to know, and I can't stop them now. What did they do? June lets loose a short breath before responding. It's an enhancer. Fuel, power, whatever you can think of. It increases its potency 100 times over. The mines are living hell. The substance is toxic. The fumes are poisonous, yet no one cares. They don't care what it does to those people. They don't care what they do to the people. I put a hand on his arm, and finally he pulls himself out from whatever the hell his past has thrown in him, his eyes glistening with an unshed tear, and the rage that fills him just moments ago vanishing. I whisper quiet enough that only I should be able to hear. What happened to you? Our eyes meet, 1,000 unspoken words hanging in the air between us. What hasn't happened to me? I didn't expect him to hear me, much less reply. His voice is so low, so broken, I can barely make out the words over the music surrounding us. But the pain in his eyes tells me everything I need to know. I'm sorry, Kay. I shouldn't have said so much. I just haven't been able to talk to anyone like this in a long, long time. Hey, no touching, asshole! June's head snaps up, the mask of calm collectedness sliding back into place so quickly I can hardly be sure what just happened. I think that's my cue. Aya's continued shouts pull us from our bubble, and June doesn't seem like he wants to talk about it anymore, so I decide not to push it. But this conversation is far from over. I need to know what has him so shaken up about his home planet. You're not gonna get in a fight, are you? Me? No. I'm gonna go there and save whoever's got on Aya's bad side. She's small, but she's a fighter. You should probably get out of here before things get ugly. Laughing, even if it's a little forced, we both stand. I watch for a minute or two as he heads up to the stage, pulling some guy back by the arm and stopping Aya's fist mid-punch with a raised hand. Deciding it's probably best not to get involved in whatever is going to happen next, I slip past the dirty red curtain and back into the club. There's only one place in the club I haven't been yet, and I'm curious to find out if Bash and Riona are amusing themselves. I've never figured out how to say this word. Sidling? I see it all the time in Wind Waker, that's for fucking sure. Around the dance floor once more, I've almost made it to the curtain separating the final room from the rest of the club when I feel a sharp, pointed nail tap me on the shoulder. Hey. When I turn, it's to find Oppo, looking nothing short of delighted that they found me. They offer a strange half bow in greeting.
Greetings, Kay. How do you enjoy Oppo's club? It is the finest in Las Vegas, yes?
I have to guess so, seeing what I've been in, buddy. Oppo blinks at me a couple of times, leaning forward while they wait for an answer. Oh, it's great, Oppo. I've never seen anything like it. Oppo smiles, apparently happy with the answer as they've clasped their hands in front of them to peer at me through wide yellow eyes.
Oppo is curious. How you met Mr. Bash in this...
What? Astrologer crew? I don't know what that means.
Tell Oppo the story, yes?
I have amnesia, so I'm not telling you shit. Oh, well, I mean, how did we meet them? They picked me up on a planet, but I don't know anything other than that. But I also don't think I should be telling anyone anything. Didn't Damon tell us to lie? Not lie. He didn't say lie. He said to be careful what we say to people. Lie. Oppo seems harmless enough, but after all the warnings I've received about Nos Vega, I'm not sure I should trust him so easily. I met the crew in Siltavi. They hired me as their new, cook. After blurting out the first thing that comes to mind, I want to slap myself on the forehead. Cook? I'm sure the crew is perfectly capable of cooking for themselves.
Cook? What is cook?
You know, someone who cooks food, prepares meals for the crew.
Ah, yes. Oppo knows.
I let out a breath of relief.
Oppo's We mean employees cooks for Oppo. Juicy insects with crunchy legs. Oppo's favorite.
Oppo smacks their tongue against their teeth hungrily. And if I had eaten dinner, I think it might have thrown it all up. Just at the thought of eating insects. Hey, eating insects isn't as weird as you think. Would I do it? No. No, I would not. I would not ever eat insects because I think bugs are gross. But I know a lot of people do it, and it's more normal than I think it is.
Kay met with the crew in Siltavi, yes?
Yeah, that's right.
Oppo hears rumors from the royal city. The king and his family murdered.
I swallow thickly. It's a dreadful ordeal, no matter how hated the old king was. 15 lives, an entire family, gone.
But one body they cannot find. The king's youngest child. It's as if they just disappeared, yes?
Are you alluding to that being me? Because I'm not, Shut up. Oppo's eyes narrow and they look at me intently.
Very curious.
You think the child is still alive?
Oppo thinks if they were alive, they should hide far, far away. The usurpers wouldn't let live a threat to his throne.
How would one recognize this child if they saw them, that is?
Oppo does not know. The youngest royal children were hidden. Always hidden. Not important to be seen. Not important at all.
Oppo looks over me for a moment. I think the conversation is over, until suddenly they speak again.
Oppo is happy Kay is here. Kay is safe in Oppo's home.
Oppo smiles at me, and although the pointed teeth give them a rather sinister look, I get the impression they mean what they say. Thank you, Oppo. With another half bow, Oppo ambles off into the crowd, and after watching them until they disappear, I continue on my way. Heading towards the room off to the side of the club, when I push back the curtain, I spot Bash not too far away, seated in a half-moon table covered in crimson felt. Man, we just doing everything, huh? Gambling, drinking, we just doing everything up in here. 3 other patrons are seated at the same table. A small, curious creature with a bored look on his face. On her face. Sorry, I was not reading. I was just looking at this. Wow. They said bored look, and I was comparing. Is this bored to you? I mean, I guess it can be bored. And a beautiful Catalfan couple who look too finely dressed for a place like this. Look at this baddie. Look at this absolute baddie. Dealing a set of cards in front of each set is a woman who, curiously, I notice has 4 arms. As I step closer to the table, I realize that while her upper arms look natural enough, the bottom are completely robotic, much like Bash's, and her assistant is dealing the cards at a lightning speed. Last chance to place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Bash pushes a stack of chips further onto the table, and I step up behind him as I finally notice Riona sitting at his side. Hey. It'd be an understatement to say that the look on her face at the sight on his bet is one of pure horror. Sebastian! That amount of money would be enough to feed an entire crew for a month. What are you thinking? Bash sits back in his seat, arms folded casually over his chest, and a lopsided grin on his lips. I know what I'm doing, Rye. This is how they draw you in, you know. You get a few wins, and the next thing you know, it's completely gone over your head until you end up losing everything. Next thing you'll be betting the ship's itself. Bash snorts at her accusation, and Riona looks less than impressed by the reaction. And risk the unholy wrath of our dear old captain is not likely. I watch their argument, if that's what it can be called, with mild amusement. It ends with when Riona crosses her arms over her chest, turning slightly away from Bash and purses her lips into what I can only describe as a pout. Forgetting the angry Talari for a moment, Bash leans closer to me, his voice excited in an... What the fuck? Oh, hi! My cat is awake. What's up? His voice an excited whisper. The rules are simple, my friend. If the card shows 3 crowns, you get another draw. The hourglass represents 12. That's a high card. And this one here... I stare at him, utterly perplexed, and his voice fades into nothing. What exactly about any of this is simple? Bash stutters me for a moment before giving a casual shrug of his shoulders and clearing his throat intently. Just, watch what I do. You'll pick it up soon enough. I ain't gambling. You're crazy. Who do you think I am? Riona and I share a look. By the deep grooves forming on her forehead, I can say she's less than pleased about the situation. I'm okay watching. I give a nod of my head, indicating that I'm paying attention. Riona clicks her tongue, unimpressed. I wonder for a moment why she chose to hang around if she despises gambling so much, but then I assume it's to ensure that, despite what he says, Bash doesn't actually bet the ship, or something equally important. The dealer flips another card, and Bash's lip quirks further. It bears the image of a goblet. We've got this in the bag, Kay. I hope you're ready to win some serious credits. Practically shaking with excitement, Bash drums his finger over the table, unblinking as his gaze follows the dealer's swift movements. The dealer flips the final card, 4 feather quills. My eyes dart to his face, expecting to find a triumphant smile, but instead, he's met with a look of pure horror. Damn, who would have thunk? It was supposed to be 2 crossed swords. The young lady is the winner. The dealer gestures to the small creature at the end of the table and slides a considerable amount of chips over to her, which she chirps happily at. Now look what you've done. I told you. Bash places a hand on her arm to calm her before she can finish her sentence, and she stops abruptly. Relax a little, will you? Enjoy yourself. We have enough trouble to deal with later. It's just a bit of fun, yeah? Let me buy you a drink. I look at Riona, who seems anything but relaxed. In fact, she's been quite on edge ever since we landed on Terranium. I lost my glasses. I took a little break to get a treat, and I lost my glasses. Oh my god, it's fine. She leans in to whisper something to Bash, and I only just catch her words over the buzz surrounding us. Don't forget what happened the last time I was on this planet. Bash fixes his eyes on Riona, both bionic and real. I'd never forget. He smiles at her for a moment, and I swear his face is softer somehow. It suddenly occurs to me how close the two of them seem, and I wonder if there's more to their relationship than meets the eye. Deciding to try and lighten the situation, I clap a hand on Bash's shoulder, squeezing it gently in a show of support. Better luck next time. I feel a little bad for him, but at the same time, that's the risk you take when you gamble. Better luck next time, I guess. That's the spirit, Kay. But next time we'll take the jackpot, you'll see. For now, though, we'd better clear out of here for a while. The dealer throws us an impatient look, and Bash quickly ushers Riona and I away from the table. All I can say is it serves you right for gambling again. You know that nothing good ever comes from it. That's not true. Remember that time I won the Catalphanite bracelet in a game of cards? Now, that thing was breathtaking. Rihanna folds her arms over her chest, giving Bash a pointed look. And what happened to that bracelet? I lost it in a bet. Okay, I see your point. Rihanna gives him a pointed look before letting out a long, tired sigh. You two do what you want. I'm gonna go find somewhere a little quieter to wait all this out. Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on the table. Jump back in when things are picking up again. Bruh. I feel like the more interesting lore right now is with Rihanna, so I'm gonna go with her. I'm starting to feel a little overwhelmed in the casino. Finding a quiet spot with Rihanna sounds more appealing right now. I'm gonna go with Rihanna. It's a little too much for me in here. Stretching his arms over his head, Bash smiles at us. See you later then. Oh my god! Sorry. Oh. Oh. Guys, like an old lady, do you want to know where my glasses were? They were on my head. Oh my god. I'm like messing with my hair because it's straight right now. And I went and I felt the top of my head and I said, oh, my glasses. No one can ever say I'm not old ever again. Look after each other, all right? Yeah. With a wave goodbye, Dash darts off, most likely in search of another table to join. Oh god. Not the gambling. Shaking my head, I turn to follow Riona as she makes her way across the room and back through the club. When we exit the club and step out onto the street, I can't say it's quieter than it was inside, but at least it's easier to breathe out here. Riona turns to me, a sheepish smile tilting her lips. This place suffocates me a bit. If you want to go back in, you're welcome to. I wanted to spend some time with you. It doesn't matter if it's in here or out there. Wait, what? Whatever. I glanced down the street at the vendors selling their wares from the wooden stalls, and the various food carts sending their plumes and scented smoke into the air. It's just as crowded as it was in the club, with all sorts of people rushing back and forth, and from our spot, leaning against the front wall of the building, we take it all in. Just making sure I'm still recording. I get nervous. Rihanna smiles at me, and I can tell she's glad I came along. I'm sorry if I seem difficult, but sometimes I don't feel like I fit in anywhere. You may not have noticed, but there aren't exactly a lot of Talari on this planet. Almost none, in fact. Apart from you and me, of course. I had noticed. It'd be hard not to, but I can't say that I understand why. I have to admit to myself, though, although that I am Talari, I know next to nothing about the people and their planet. I'm sensing there's more to your story than you've told me. Why did you really leave Talarian? Rihanna silently holds my gaze, as if deciding how much she should tell. After a moment, she bites down on her lip, her bright yellow eyes fixed on the dusty ground between us. My childhood was very strict. My father is a member of the Council of Eons, Talarian's ruling government, and my mother is the director of the Centeum... Yeah, I know what that is. The largest medical facility on the planet. As I'm sure you can imagine, these are incredibly demanding and powerful positions. Rihanna wrings her hands together nervously, as if waiting for some kind of reaction. But all I can do is watch how her luminescent skin wanes as she speaks, growing dimmer by the second. They didn't have much time for me when I was growing up, but I was still expected to behave as if they were always watching, because, well, there was always someone watching me. I had to be the perfect daughter, dedicated, well-mannered, disciplined, but it felt like I was a prisoner. She let out a soft sigh, fixing me with a worried look. Don't get me wrong, I love my planet, but the beliefs of the Talari... the beliefs that many of the Talari have there are backwards. We used to help those who needed aid, but more often than not, travelers are being turned away, and the Talari are closing themselves off from the rest of the world. She gives me a sad smile, as if apologizing for saying so much. We used to be better. I wanted to be better, so that's why I left. and you joined the Andromeda 6 crew? Not quite. That happened a few years later. I traveled with a group of Talari called the Archangels. We went from planet to planet offering aid where we could. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. But She trails off, her hands shaking at her sides, as whatever memories she's been trying hard to ward off now crash over her. Her face falls in an instant, and she covers her mouth with her hand, her eyes squeezed tight shut. Yeah. I step forward to put a comforting hand on her shoulder, feeling her body shake with emotion. I'm so sorry. This planet brings back a lot of bad memories. I'd rather not talk about it right now, if you don't mind. That's perfectly fine. I understand. My man. Do you want to go back to the ship? If this place holds such bad memories, it may be better for her to be somewhere more comfortable. I can take you back to the ship if you'd like. Riona sniffles, wiping her eyes with the back of her hand and giving me a watery smile. I'll be alright. No need to cut the night short because of me. I appreciate it, the thought though. Thank you, Kay. Riona takes a deep breath to compose herself, looking around the street, and I'm relieved to see that she's feeling better. I think I'll go and have a drink with Bash after all. I should probably apologize for being so hard on him earlier. I don't think he took it too harshly, but I'm sure he'd enjoy your company. She beams at me, her delicate features glowing under the light of the moon. We should... Before she finishes her sentence, two men walk past, their eyes narrowing on the pair of us. One man, a human with colored lights weaving through his skin, steps uncomfortably close and growls in Riona's face. Oh, that's not very nice. I'm not reading that. Fuck you. No, I will read it. Fuck off, Talari bitch. We don't want your kind here. The other one, a Catalfin, spits at our feet before the two stroll off, shoulders pulled back and chest puffed, though they own the very ground they tread on. Okay, rude. Let's just do nothing. We don't need to enable that behavior. I don't dare breathe a word. I can only imagine what the captain would say if the two of us ended up in a brawl outside the club. The very place he told me not to go. Having only just secured my place on A6, I'm not a fan of losing it right now. Just 1 minute. How dare you speak to us like that, you unwashed miscreant? Riona! What the hell did you just say to me? Nice to see you're deaf as well as dumb. Or could it be that you just can't take it as well as you can dish it out? He points his grubby finger in her face as he advances, his eyes reduced to two slits of eerie neon blue. Listen, lady, I'm not above smacking those words right out of your mouth. Riona folds her arms across her chest defiantly, raising one perfectly pale eyebrow at him. I'd like to see you try. Oh my god. Hey, is there a problem here? Hey, June. Hey. Oh, rasp? Bro, I don't rasp, my guy. Sorry. My blood runs cold at the sound of the dark rasp behind us, and when I turn it to find it's June staring down at the men, his face thunderous and cold. Yeah, he kind of is like the protecto. He's like big brother of the group, for sure. Gotta fucking kill somebody. Anyways, sorry. I'm doing something else at the same time. I'm trying to do something else. Whatever. When June moves in front of Riona and I, shielding us from the stranger and his friend, all I can see are the muscles of his back and shoulders tensing through his clothes. Yeah, they are. What? He almost seems bigger somehow, though I know that can't be possible. You think a stranger can take us on, pretty boy? The man sneers at June, his lips pulled back from a straight line, white teeth, until the Catalfin slams a hand on his friend's shoulders, pulling him back and whispering a terrified voice. Not this one, man. He's one of them. What does that mean? Princess, would you like to tell me who you are? The man gives his friend a quizzical look, eyebrows raised in annoyance. What are you? But then he looks at June next. His eyes go wide and he backs up slowly, one foot behind the other, his mouth opening and closing like a goldfish. Another second later, the two of them are scrambling down the street, almost falling over each other in desperate attempts to disappear in the crowd. I let out a breath of relief, though when I look at Riona, her face is still twisted in anger I've never seen from her. I mean, yeah, not everyone is like, nah, I don't feel like I need to get in that fight right now. You know what I mean? I get it. I don't know what my fighting capabilities are, and this seems like the plan I'm not trying my luck on. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna try my luck on this planet, I feel. June stands firmly fixed to the spot. The only signs of movement, the way his shoulders rise and fall with a short, shallow breaths. June? I step towards him, a hand outstretched, and my heart pounding in my ears. My throat tightens uncomfortably, a wave of unwarranted nausea and terror snaking through my veins. Whatever those men had seen in June, it had shaken them to the core. I wasn't so sure I wanted to know why. Not me. I do want to know why. Tell me. When it finally turns, the ghost of his easy smile slides back into place, though it doesn't quite reach his eyes this time. I let out a breath I'd been holding in, my shoulders slumping as relief floods through me. And, as if I'm finally remembering what had brought him here, June's eyebrows dip in worry. Hey. I was just looking for you everywhere. We need your help inside. It's Ayame. Damn, what'd that bitch do? We've been gone for like 5 minutes. What has she been doing? Riona throws him an alarmed look before hurrying back into the club, but before I can do the same, June stops me with a hand on my arm. Hey. Are you okay, Kay? Yeah, I'm chilling, dude. I am chilling like a villain. I nod, pushing down whatever curiosity is gnawing at me to discover what those two men were so terrified of him. Probably why. I'm fine. Don't worry about me, June. I smile, trying to assure him that I really am okay, and when he finally relents with a nod of his head, we head back into the club together. Yeah, I'm chilling. Nothing happened, TBH. June leads us to a small storage room off to the side of the bar, and we rush inside to find Aya seated on the stack of boxes, her arm held protectively against her stomach. Oh, she's made herself sick. She attempts to smile, but it doesn't last that long until she's groaning in pain and cursing under her breath. Riona lets out a small sound and rushes to her side. What have you done to yourself now? It wasn't my fault. Some assholes were trying to grab me, so I decked him. Girl, quit playing right now. I swear I heard Riona mumble, not again, under her breath, over the music pumping through the club. I can't be sure. Can you help her, Rai? I'll go round up the others. I don't know why we let her in this. Yeah, we'll be fine. Kay can help me with this. June leaves the room, shutting the door behind him as he goes, and I step next to Riona, waiting for instructions. Aya, what have I told you about getting into bar fights? That I should do it only if I know I'm gonna win? Riona gives her a withering glare, and Aya lets out a guilty bubble of laughter. Oh, don't worry, it wasn't much of a fight. What happened? Nothing much, really. Something clearly did. Aya cocks her head to the side, making a little face while she mulls over exactly how much to tell us. Everyone here likes keeping their little secrets, huh? Let's just say it's generally never a good idea to punch someone who has a bionic face. Aya! What were you thinking? Aya shrugs, the silver tips of her hair falling casually around her shoulders. That I wanted to shut the prick up? Aya bit back a string of curses as Riona took her hand and flipped it over to check the damage. So, where's the guy now? Probably off crying in the corner. Pretty sure I gave his tin can a nice dent. I kind of remember not to touch people like that. Okay. I mean, period. As she should. I thought June broke you guys apart. Oh, he did. Ouch, Rai. Take it easy, will ya? That's what you get for throwing punches in Nos Vega. I'm sorry, okay? Riona merely raises an eyebrow at her, and Aya's smiles immediately. Aya's smile immediately slides back into place. Sorry I didn't hit him harder, that is. An ungraceful snort escapes me, and even Riona has a hard time keeping in the smile off of her face. How bad is her hand, Riona? It looks like it might be broken, or fractured at the very least. I'll have to run some scans to know for sure. Kay, will you see if you can get me a bowl of ice from the bar? It'll help with the swelling until we can get Aya back to the ship. Of course. I stand to head back out into the bar, stopping only when Aya calls out to me. And no stopping to oogle a certain wannabe assassin, you hear me? We have a medical emergency on our hands. Oh my god. What can I say? Shut up! Shut up. I would never do something so inappropriate. It's unbelievable of you. On our hands, you get it? I roll my eyes at her joke, smirking before throwing her an obscene hand gesture, to which she only laughs harder. Closing the door behind me when I leave the room, I start heading towards the bar in the search of a bowl of ice. I lean against the counter, immediately regretting the decision when I feel the stickness of who knows what. Oh, the stickiness of who knows what stuck to my sleeve. Ew, gross. Disgusted, I turn back around, stopping in my tracks when a glint of red catches my eye between the seeds of body in the room. I can't explain why, but something about that particular shade of red seems so familiar. Before I even realize what I'm doing, my feet are already weaving through the room, pushing between dozens of people around me. When did this bar get so crowded? Hi, watch it! Sorry. I mumble an apology, too fixated on the trail I'm on to stop now. When I get a closer look, I realize what I've been following is a shock of hair. The man stops at the exit, looking around before disappearing through the door and out onto the street. This is a bad idea. My heart starts to pump in my chest with urgency I can't explain. And my voice in my head whispers, follow him, over and over, so utterly relentless that I hear nothing else. I fall behind, desperately pushing my way through the last few feet of the crowd, growing hot and sweaty between so many bodies. This is an awful idea. I did not consent to this. I thought we were going to see a hot man. Oh. Sorry, I'm downloading Love and Deep Space. And it said, you're almost out of memory. And I said, fuck. I probably have to do it on my tablet. I just want kids. I love Silas so much. I just want him on my phone. It's so unfair. I probably will don't. I think it is on my... You know what it is on my tablet. I'm a liar. Anyways. When I finally reach the exit, I stop to catch my breath, looking up and down the crowded street for any sign of the man. I see nothing but the usual vendors and street food carts, but I know he must be around here somewhere. He couldn't have just vanished into thin air. Breathlessly, I pick a direction, letting my feet guide me until I'm standing at the mouth of a dimly lit alleyway. A single, solitary streetlight casting an eerie glow over the broken furniture and old trash littering the ground. Deciding I'd rather not chance an encounter with a dingy old alley, I turn to head back to the club, stopping only when a noise echoes through the darkness. The sound of breaking glass. Hopefully that doesn't show up on, I hope that doesn't... My Discord's going off because I texted my sister. So, hopefully that doesn't, show up in the video. Anyways. I hesitate, ear turned toward the alleyway, listening for any sign of movement. With newfound determination, I straighten up and muster my courage, taking one step after another into the darkness. A thought enters my mind as I put one foot in front of the other. It could be a trap, and like an idiot, I didn't tell any of the crew where I was going when I left the club. I fumble with a leather sheath that Damon gave me earlier, buckled around my thigh, and pull out the dagger, holding it tight in my hand. I wasn't so sure about it earlier, but I'm glad I decided to take it, knowing that if worse comes to worse, I can defend myself. Steeling my nerves, I creep through the alley, towards the source of the noise, only to find it empty. I look around, peering as though the darkness... What? Peering as far through the darkness as my eyes can manage, though all I find are shadows. Was it just a rat? You shouldn't follow strangers in the dark alleys. Oh, is this the other guy that's on the... I realized that there's another character on the front. He's like in red and shit. And I was like, oh, we haven't seen that character yet. And then I just forgot. Okay. A voice startles me from behind, cool breath skittering over my skin and sending a shiver down my spine. But I can't turn around. I can't move after feeling the brush of the cold blade against my throat. Oh! And with a dagger no bigger than a butter knife. You're not even holding it right. He leans closer still, and when he speaks again, his voice is seductively dark. It's a seductively dark rasp in my ear. Bark! I can't do that, but... Who are you, and why are you following me? I swallow thickly around the lump of fear in my throat, trying to keep my cool. My name is Kay. The man behind me sucks in a breath and spins me to face him, cutting my words short. Well, he looks like Damon. What? Anyways, I can't see his face clearly through the shadows, but I feel his eyes are raking over me, and the shock dripping from him when he takes a step back and lets out a shaky breath. Oh, he knows me, for sure. It can't be. No. Your Highness, alive? I am a fucking princess! Princess! Oh, princess, it's you. Princess. Oh shit, where am I tapping? Oh my bad, it's not even in the right spot. I'm on episode 2! And that's where we're actually ending the episode! That's where we're ending it! Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Is it ending a little short? Yes, but we actually got to the end of the episode for once. So I guess that's a win, technically. Man, because you know what? That was like a whole extra hour tacked on, TBH. That's kind of cray, if you think about it. Like, that's a whole another hour tacked on to, the video. Anyways, that's all. I wonder who that man is. Okay, so that means so, we are, which is what I figured with the first minute they brought it up, we are the last royal child of the original Goldust left. We're the last one. And I guess whatever happened to us, we somehow got amnesia and we got picked up by the Andromeda 6 crew. And so what I figure is blah blah blah, somehow we are going to what's the word? We're going to probably end up taking back the kingdom. And if not, that's what I'm gonna try to do. So anyways, so I wonder how many chapters are in this. By the way, I'm actually gonna look it up because I want to know. Because we're in chapter 3. Sorry, I was looking. I opened my my little internet browser. What is it called? Andromeda 6. Where is that? Hey, where my shit at? Bruh. Yeah, when night comes. Oh, that's so funny. The studio that makes when the night comes. Is that what it's called? Dude, have I been calling it the wrong thing? That's crazy. Anyways. Freaking, where is it? Oh my god, I should just look it up. There we go. Star-crossed lovers? What is all this content? Yo. Yeah, how many chapters are there, actually? That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's still in development. It's in its early access with 8 out of 10. Right. That's what I remember saying. So we're on 3 out of... Oh my god! Oh, we're definitely romancing Damon. You don't even know what I just saw. But it's important to me. Yeah. Oh, he's 24? Rare. Sorry. Rare. He's so fine. Star-crossed lovers. Weird. Tea time with Oppo is crazy. Anyways, yeah, so... Okay, so we'll keep going until we get to the end of 8. So, we'll have to wait when it's over to get through the other chapters. So, if, hypothetically, I can, I'll probably just try to just record chapter by chapter. I think that's what I tried to do with, Tell Me Why. So, yeah. But I can yap forever, obviously, because it's already been like 5 minutes I've been sitting here talking. Anyways, so, recap on what we know. Goldust got taken over by some guy that I don't know, he's the equivalent of, like, the Lord Hordak or some shit. No, what's his name? Oh, Lord Prime? Is that his name? Horde Prime. Horde Prime. You should see me after I finish watching She-Ra, like, the end series, like, seasons. I go, Horde Prime! Horde Prime! It's awful. It's my stim, and it's disgusting and terrible. Anyways. Okay, that's it. I'm done. Alright. I hope you had so much fun. Maybe as much fun as I've had. Maybe even more. And I will see all you guys in the next one. Bye!